Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time tonight. We are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. Nancy Guthrie allegedly, which not allegedly, she did, she let the TV cameras inside of her own bedroom a few years back. Could that have helped this person who may have been watching Miss Nancy? Also, there's some reporting that a struggle and a broken lamp were discovered in the entryway with blood evidence matching Nancy's DNA found in a hallway. We're going to talk about. I haven't seen that before until just now. Stay tuned. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Any clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in thy world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is March 12th, 2026. It is currently 8:56 p.m in the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Really do appreciate you. Hey, chat. Good to see you all tonight. We're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. But before that, I need to run just a couple things by you, if you don't mind. Couple things here. Um, YouTube has changed its algorithm in about the past month. Mine was really bad, like maybe it's been the past 2 months, I would say, because mine was like bad last month, and it is for all creators, all of us. And I was watching, I think Popcorn Planet today, which is a much bigger channel than I am, and they were talking about it as well. And one thing that it seemingly that they are doing is they are only sending about half of the notifications out. Only about half, it seemingly, in my opinion, um, is getting the notifications out. And so I am going to be, I'm setting up a service right now that I'm working on it. I've started working on it earlier today, but you can you'll be able to type like clutch or pearls into your text message, and then you can type join, and then every single time I go live, it will send you a link or like a text rather, or an email, either one you want, to um, let you know that I'm live, because they are not sending out notifications. And a lot of it has to do with it's the algorithm with the AI, those, like the AI channels as well. So hopefully I will have that done by then tomorrow. So you'll be able to see that if you guys want that, because also, like, if it's a really busy day for us YouTubers, we only get 3 notifications in 24 hours, and that's if they work, right? That's if they work. So, you'll be able to get them every single time. And also, if there's, like, a major, major update, um, I won't, like, pester you or anything like that but, I'll be able to send, like, "Hey, there's this big update. We're going live in 10 minutes," or whatever. So thank you guys so much for joining me. And if you guys would be so, so kind, now more than ever, if you will please hit that thumbs up button, share the live out on any social media. It would mean so much. Make sure you are subscribed and that notification bell is hit to all. So again, you don't miss anything. It would mean so, so much. They don't work, and we must push back against AI, support real creators. Thank you, Mama Styles. I was reading where Mr. Beast, I think Popcorn Planet was talking about it today, like he's down significantly, allegedly. Um, it's real weird. I don't know. I get it's a new world, right? With all this AI stuff, but like they did take several channels allegedly down because of like some of the biggest AI channels. It was like 6 million subscribers on one of the AI. Um, I just can't get into, like, I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff. I can't get into the AI documentaries because, first of all, I know how to do the AI, right? I don't mind AI shorts, but I want a living, breathing person behind the documentary. For me, for me, um, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I could do AI videos all day long. You just, plug in and hit, you know, create, and it pretty much does it for you. And just, I'm just not a fan. Especially, I don't like them in true crime, especially in true crime. But I just wanted to go over those things with you. I really do appreciate your guys' support. More Nancy Guthrie, craziness, absolute craziness that we're going to talk about tonight. And um, I know people are very much disheartened. We are on day, what, 40 now, and she's still not found. But again, just remember Idaho 3 and many others. But we got a lot to get into. Drew, so good to see you, my friend. So much. Good to see you, honey. Hopefully you're well. Please hit the like on your way in. Thank you so much. And thank you for 22 months. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much. Hey, Miss Dolores. Good to see you. Thank you so much for that. Hi, Justin. Love you. Love you, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much for your support. And Miss Mallory, 8 months. Appreciate you, love. Ending my birthday eve. It's your birthday eve. Yes, please. We love you, Miss Mallory. Happy birthday to Miss Mallory. Mallory, we're going, Justin, the tattoo Nancy Grace is posting is AI. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for renewing the membership. We appreciate that. Good to see you, honey. Really do appreciate that. How you doing? How you doing, love? Appreciate you. Yeah, make sure we, Mallory, tomorrow, or maybe at the end of this week, you might be able to sing happy birthday to Miss Mallory as well. And thank you so much, Yacht, for renewing your membership, my dear. I really do appreciate that. Everyone saying happy birthday. All right. So, going to get into some things. You guys know that Nancy Guthrie was pretty active on Savannah's early morning NBC Today Show station, right? She actually did some videos from her own bedroom. Same house, same bedroom. It was a while ago. It was 2013. But nonetheless, she did it, and it's quite eerie, to be honest with you. Also, someone sent me some a piece of an article from what is it, Reuters? Is that how you pronounce them? Um, that a struggle and a broken lamp were discovered near the entryway, and blood evidence matching Nancy's DNA was found in the hallway. Neighbors reported hearing a car door and engine start around the same time. I have not heard this, but I'll show it to you here in just a minute. Is there someone else's birthday? My granddaughter, Dana Lynn, is 17 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Danny Lynn, happy birthday as well. Yeah. And that's a good picture. That's a really good picture of Nancy and Savannah. So let me just show you. I love that picture as well. Okay. Let me show you some very interesting stuff that we're going to get to tonight. Also, pants and a knee brace found in a wash by Annie Guthrie and Tommaso's home. JLR and them notified authorities and some other things. Dad's Gone Live found a suspicious looking, someone says grave. I don't know if it's a grave or not, but we'll get to all of that here shortly. Look at this. 2013 resurfaced video of Miss Guthrie, who was in her bedroom, and I'm waiting to pull it up as soon as the sheriff is getting some heat as well. Also, Annie was seen out and about as well. I really thought I had it here. Maybe. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Knew I had it somewhere. All right. So our friend Megan Kelly uncovered this very interesting.
We went back and found footage of the inside of Nancy Guthrie's bedroom. We have it. No one's seen this. We found it in a 2013 episode of The Today Show. It was a segment in which Savannah Guthrie was interviewing her mom, the mom live in her home in Tucson, Arizona, Savannah live on The Today Show set in New York. It was a lighthearted segment about how to make your bed. Apparently Nancy Guthrie is big on making your bed and had taught Savannah exactly how it ought to be made. And they decided to do one of those fun segments where like they have beds on set and the anchors will try to do Nancy's way. And that's what they did. But you are about to see inside Nancy Guthrie's bedroom. Keep in mind, Savannah said her mother was taken from her bed in the dark of night. Well, you're about to see her bed in her house. It's the same house she's had since 1991.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to see it for the first time. This is from 2013.
It's an art.
Watch this.
It's an art.
My mom is up early in Tucson, Arizona. Nancy Guthrie joins us now. Hi, Mom.
Look how good Nancy looks there, and you can tell she's just a good person. But 2013. So sorry, I got the wrong background music on here. I apologize. So it's been a few years ago. She looks to be in much better health there.
Good morning.
Hi, Savannah.
Well,
Hi, everybody.
I see that you've already made your bed, even though it's 3 a.m. there or whatever.
Exactly.
Mom, why was this an important skill to teach me?
Well, I think everybody needs to know how to make a bed. And so when the time came to teach you guys how to make a bed, this is what I tried to teach you.
Now,
anyway.
This is not just your standard bed making. This is the hospital corners bed making. We're talking you can bounce a quarter off of it, right, Nancy?
Natalie, don't put me to the test. It's way too early.
She's backing off. Nancy, I just want to know how difficult Savannah was when you tried to teach her this. How much screaming and stomping her feet was involved?
All three of the kids thought it was a really worthless skill.
Let me show you something. Hold on.
First, you show.
1 second. I want to show you this. Right.
Nancy,
here.
I just want to know how difficult Savannah was when you tried to teach her this. How much screaming and
Look at that window. You guys see that window right there? That makes me wonder. Now, there's types of people that will keep the same furniture forever, right? That will keep the same furniture and keep the same things forever. She may have been one of them, or she might have been one that kind of updated things every 10 years or something, right? So we don't really know what kind of person she was. If she, some people move their furniture around, or even their rooms around. Justin, she says something about the window, and I really find that reaction strange, especially for her word improvement. Interesting. Okay.
Stomping her feet where it was involved.
All three of the kids thought it was a really worthless skill.
How do we do
All right,
it?
so Mom, first you show everybody how to do it, okay? And then you can judge how we do it.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Well, basically, since my bed's already made, the most important thing you have to do is to make sure this top sheet is really pulled in here tightly, because that's going to give you your smooth corner.
I don't know what that music is in the background. I really don't. It's a little weird if you ask me, but okay. She's showing how to make the
And then you
And remember, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning there. It really is. Like if it's 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, it's truly 3, well, maybe 4 in the morning there.
pull this over, and you make kind of like a triangle,
I remember
with your
that.
top
Don't
sheet.
get started yet.
And then,
I'm not getting started. When do you make
and then
the
you tuck
triangle?
it under as tightly as you can. But here's the little skill. See this nice corner?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that's as tight as can be. You tuck it in.
And you can keep cookies in
Then
there.
when you sleep, there you go.
And then
So
Mom,
when you sleep in the middle of the night, it doesn't pull out.
All right.
Because
Oh, there.
for
That's
David,
all
this
right.
would
He's
be a
pulling
toy
it out.
bed.
That's good.
That's
There
the
you
problem.
go.
Mom, thank you so much. It's so good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. I know
What
it's
is
early
this
there.
doing?
Honey,
Thank
it's
you,
really
Nancy.
early. Bye-bye.
I-
Okay. So what's interesting about that clip is
That's, she looks so cute there, doesn't she? There's no way I could be standing by the window. Really? Really? I mean, I'm not like scared to sit there by my window or anything like that, but some people I guess are. Oh, like the military. She had her things in order. Had her things in order. No, not at 3
so you can see where she slept every night, and you can see exactly what this abductor must have walked into. I mean, does anybody's mother dramatically overhaul their bedroom when they're in their 80s, 70s? I mean, that was what, 13 years ago.
Thank you.
So Nancy Guthrie would have been 7.
That's what I was saying. Is she the type? Probably not. I mean, some people are, changing their things out in their 70s or whatever, but most people are like, you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it. I don't feel like moving it. It's a good bed. Don't want to mess with it. Right? I doubt it. It's probably the same bed that she still has.
70, just about 70. Whatever, she may or may not have, but the point is simply you can see right into her bedroom, and generally the way it was and the way it was set up, and she lives in the same house. And
Exactly.
what you're seeing for the listening audience is a bed it looks like it's a king, might be a queen at the smallest. And right next to it, you can see the side table with a small lamp and some books stacked there, and maybe a foot and a half off of that is a window leading right into her bedroom. So she clearly had a window leading outside that would have taken you right into Nancy's bedroom, which suggests, I mean, I don't know, actually. I guess I shouldn't say whether it's on the first floor. I think the whole house is a ranch. So it would have been directly to the outside of the home and possibly accessible. We don't know how the intruder walked in. We know that the back door was reportedly found open and that there was
Really?
reportedly forced entry. The cops are not confirming that, but that was Ashley Banfield reporting early on. And we know that we saw an intruder mess with the front door and at least consider trying to go through that way. But so you see then you see a small.
Yeah, like some people, like especially like hotels and stuff, like you don't see fitted sheets on hotel beds or anything like that, because they are, first of all, they're harder to store and fold and all of that stuff. So yeah, most people use like, sheets like that. I wonder if Nancy Guthrie had any clashing with Savannah Guthrie's career, homemaking versus Savannah's dreams. What do you mean by that, Michelle? Just curious. What do you mean by that?
Bookcase, like maybe a 2-shelf bookcase that's low, would kind of fit underneath the window, and what looked to me like a VCR or DVD player. Again, this is 2013, underneath it. And so here's why I think this is interesting, because we had an alleged kidnapper note early
Look at
on
this
in
right
the
here.
Nancy Guthrie scandal, claiming they knew exactly where she kept her Apple Watch, and they had described something inside Nancy's bedroom that led
Yes.
some, according to Harvey Levin, Sheriff Harvey, as Zach Peter calls him, Harvey saying that they were taking these alleged ransom notes very seriously.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And remember, they were talking about very specific. All right, let's think about this a second. Let's think about this. If this is her bedroom, right? She's very likely, so look at this right here. She's wearing a watch right there. So she's a watch. I think it's a watch, or it could be a bracelet, but this was 2013. Did people have smartwatches in 2013? Yeah, but not like they do today, right? I don't think this is a smartwatch. This is certainly a watch or a bracelet. So usually once, if a watch wearer, always a watch wearer at some point. And then if she's got a heart or a pacemaker, if she's had it between 2013 and 2025 or 2026, she's going to wear that, the watch or the her cell phone. It's going to be right beside of her bed, right there, right beside of her bedstand, right? She looks so different only 13 years ago. Yeah, as we age significantly faster every single year, right? And particularly, you'll see, I don't know what it is, but you will, not everybody, but a big majority of people, you will see between 76 and 78 years old, they really, really change people's health, tend to. She looks like a sweet, yeah. I don't know when her actual heart issue started. That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Some people have heart issues for several years, but they just they have no idea, or not that they not have. Well, some people have no idea, but a lot of people, they don't need a pacemaker at a certain time or whatever.
I think all of the Today Show hosts show their children and their faces on TV. Certainly Savannah does, Hoda.
They all
and it's
do.
very dangerous. It's dangerous. The mom is a different story. I mean, I showed my mom too. Because prior to this, nobody ever thought their mom could be potentially endangered. It was just, this is a whole new kind of crime. But to actually go into the bedroom and show off like the most intimate area of her mom's life may have given somebody some sort of way of manipulating either the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department by being.
So this is a really good point. Now, I don't think this video helped the perpetrator, because in my opinion, whoever did this to Nancy Guthrie is someone close, someone that knows her or whatever. However, it could have helped the person writing those emails, right? Could have helped them because remember, they were writing and talking about specific things in Nancy's bedroom. And they were taking that very seriously. That's what Harvey from TMZ said his sources were saying. And it just shows you how, like, people are, man. That's really bad. I've noticed that some of the NBC staff shows inside their homes. I've always thought, I hope they have. You know, like with NBC there, so yeah, Savannah showed off where she lived, and when that happened, like the next week, one of the other anchors was going to where they live, you know, because people like to know, you know, most people, it's just a genuine curiosity of, you know, your favorite anchor or host or whatever, how they grew up or where they're, you know, that kind of thing. It's an innocent curiosity, but there's always one or two out there that are creepolas, right? Really creepy. So yeah, she did I don't know, it's crazy. All right, very interesting. Okay, so now look at this, guys. Look at this. Pants and knee brace found in a wash by Annie Guthrie in Tommaso's home. We notified authorities, he said. Now, I don't think this is anything related to Nancy, in my opinion. I don't see it be anything related. I would picture Nancy in some like pajamas or like a nightgown. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you know, you just wear it when you go to bed, particularly women. I agree that it would seem kind of invasive, although I understand, but I swear I saw her writing on sign for NG and her SUV was a Texas plate, kind of odd in my opinion. Yeah, his name is Jen. But then there is another one. Check this one out. Check this one out, what this person wrote. This is Dad's Gone Live. And they wrote, weird discovery in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Pima County Sheriff deputies are there now at Dad's Gone Live. Found a suspicious grave along with a towel blanket that looks bloodstained. It could be blood. Now, that's a little weird. I gotta be honest with you. But there's a cross there. So that kind of makes me think it's like a pet or something. You know what I mean? That makes me think like it's a pet or something. Don't you think? Like a dog. It's a pet, they said. Yeah. Yeah, and to be honest with you, this might be a little trigger warning and stuff. It turned out to be empty. Well, a lot of people with their animals, they don't dig deep enough, and then they don't put like rocks or something on it because other scavengers will dig it up. So always make sure it is deep enough if you're bearing a pet, and put some rocks on it as well. They found one with the dog. Yeah. Because scavengers. Okay, just me. Thank you. Oh, really? Latest on the Tepe case, Spencer was shot 7 times and Monique 9 times. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, I knew it was quite a bit. It's hard to dig a ditch. It's very hard. It's not easy. Certainly not easy. Okay. So I'm glad that they definitely checked this out. So today is day 40, and this Nancy Guthrie update. Look at who's in this photo right here. Look who's in this photo right here. This is seemingly God, I can't even think of her name. Tommaso and Annie. So I couldn't think of Annie. Annie, and I guess this is her brother. Right there. I've not seen. Maybe is this when she originally picked him up? Like when he first came there? I don't know. I wonder how their relationship is going, Tommaso and Annie's relationship going. So this has kind of pissed me off with this case. Janice, I did not yet, but we can pull it up. They are pausing the cadaver dogs. They're pausing the cadaver dogs. Here, I'll pull it up. What's going on with Nancy? Here we go. We will pull our gal, Miss Nancy Grace, up. The brother is driving Nancy's. Oh. By the way, that's what I was going to show you. They are giving back the car. We have talked about that. There was a lot of pressure to give back the car, right? Savannah Guthrie's missing mom car connected to Nancy Guthrie probe will be returned to the family. The car connected with Nancy Guthrie investigation will be returned to her family, police said. The Pima County Sheriff's Department said a Honda belonging to Nancy's daughter, Annie, will be given back shortly. The search for Nancy has entered its 6th week. The Pima County Sheriff's Department said the Honda belonging to Nancy Guthrie's daughter, Annie, will be returned to her soon. Police said investigating that the vehicle in connection with Nancy's disappearance. It's not immediately clear when the car will be returned to Annie. Let me tell you something. 6 weeks you've kept that car? Yesterday, Ratui? I don't know. That's the question. Did they see the Subaru left the garage? Did you see the Subaru left the garage? Someone was driving it? But they took the Subaru. Did the car need to be put back together? I've heard that. They had it at a shop. Let's see here. What's going on with Nancy? Something's going on, they were saying. All right. Let's go to our friend Nancy G. Nancy Grace. Here we go. What's going on? Is there a particular part I need to see?
About the FBI going to a Mexican
I
restaurant
agree.
and re-interrogating restaurant workers. Now, it's my understanding there are two restaurants in question. One is a restaurant to which we
Hold on. What? Let me go back here.
reporter Dave Mack joining us tonight. Dave Mack, I want to hear first about the FBI going to a Mexican restaurant and re-interrogating restaurant workers. Now, it's my understanding there are two restaurants in question. One is a restaurant to which we can attribute the glove that had DNA that was found a little over.
Now, that's very interesting because if you guys remember, we were talking about, I think Brian Ensign was talking about it as well. How did they know that this glove belonged to a restaurant worker? Like, how do you know that it belonged to a restaurant worker? How did you get that person's DNA? Right? So if I was wearing a glove and I just threw it out the car window, I'm not a felon, I don't have a criminal history, but so I would not be in CODIS, right? I would not be in CODIS. Now, it could be a fingerprint, yes, but I don't know if it was just that. I don't think it was just a fingerprint, to be honest with you, because they're going back. I find that very weird. But it makes me wonder, shit, do they have anything now?
2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home.
Guys,
There's
please hit
that
the thumbs
restaurant
up.
in play,
Please hit the thumbs up.
and there is the restaurant that was featured in the Today Show segment. Let's see that as we're talking.
That segment is, I think it was like the first Mexican restaurant in America or something. Nancy went there quite often, right? That's the only thing I can think of, Robin. I mean, yeah, fingerprints, but I don't see it like that.
It was called an Arizona homecoming, as I recall, and Savannah went home to visit her family. And while there, she and her mom and I think Sister Annie went to their favorite Mexican restaurant. And this is that segment. Savannah's Arizona homecoming is the El Charro Cafe. And this is where our friends at today. I believe it's this restaurant, not the one connected innocently, I might add, to the glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home. Is that right, Dave? It's this restaurant, the Today Show restaurant?
That's my understanding, Nancy. The Today Show filmed Nancy and her family eating out and having.
This was, by the way, that drink looks delicious. What is that drink? This was in October of 2025, if I remember correctly.
A good time as a family, but the FBI investigators were back there interviewing workers who were present the day the Today Show they were filming, and they're asking them specific questions about people that were there the day of the shoot. Was there anybody acting oddly? Was there a fan that seemed overly, trying to contact with Savannah and touching and talking? There was a lot of asking about what took.
I am sorry. I don't buy it. I don't buy the narrative about this fan that is obsessed with Savannah. I don't buy it. And the reason is because there is seemingly clear more than one person involved. If you are, some crazed fan, you're not going to call your brother or your friend and say, hey, help me get this 84-year-old woman. It doesn't happen. It does not happen. So to me, it's kind of like a waste of, I mean, of course they need to check everyone and everything. I get that. But a crazed person who is obsessed, you know, it's like when you see these creepy, usually guys, sometimes women, actually Jeffree Star, for example, makeup guru, right? He just had someone drive from that got out of a mental hospital. They were wearing scrubs. They hitchhiked literally from, I think, North Carolina to, I think he lives in like Montana or Wyoming, one of the two. Hitchhike across the country and went on his property, right? That is a crazed fan. They do it alone. They do it alone. They don't, you know, pack up the whole family and say, field trip, we're going to go snatch an 84-year-old woman because I'm crazy about her daughter or, you know, whoever. Rihanna, yes. Which I haven't really looked into that.
Place that day. Who was there and how did they act? Anybody weird? Anybody stand out? That's what they're asking, Nancy.
And I want to nail down, Dave Mack, when did the re-questioning occurred?
Yesterday and the day before.
Ah.
Now that's interesting. They went back yesterday and the day before, according to Dave Mack here on Nancy Grace's channel, to interview these guys with the glove. Are they desperate, or and they have just nothing, or are they doing this for a reason? Re-questioned. Yes, Deb. Re-questioned. Yeah.
So they spent 2 days back at this restaurant. That video from our friends at Today. Now, we can report tidbits of facts all night long. But what do they mean? Are they probative? When I try a case or investigate a case as a prosecutor, I get tons of data. You have to marshal your evidence and determine what evidence proves something and what evidence is merely, well, that's curious, that's interesting. So let's follow this through to its logical conclusion. Joining me is Joe Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University. He is the author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon.
Joe Scott Morgan, he is brilliant, in my opinion. He's, I love the way he works cases. I love the way he, the process and how he does things.
He is the star of a hit podcast, Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. But for my purposes, he is a death investigator. He investigates all sorts of death scenes. I don't say homicide scenes. I say death scenes because that can include suicide, natural causes, accident, unexplained, and of course, murder. So, Joe Scott, this is what we know. Not just 1 day of interviews, but 2 days, 2 full days of an FBI elite team at that restaurant interrogating.
To me, it's, you know, like, to me, it's giving desperate. It's giving desperate. And I didn't think I would say that. I didn't think we would be here. Is he saying the glove is from that restaurant? there is 2 different restaurants from what I understand that they were looking at. What a coincidence, but it's starting to sound like they're desperate, because how far is that from Nancy's home? Don't know how far it is, but there's been like search warrant that, where they went in and they did Carlos's house, then the Daly's house. Then there is this 2 cameras that to me is very suspicious at a certain time when Nancy went missing is off, right? We got that. Now there's, they're going back to where these gloves are. Talking about blackout footages, like it's starting to seem a little desperate, like they have no fucking clue. Yes, DEA. Nancy Woodward. Yeah, we can talk about that in a second. Sure can. Is that glove, or is it the employee from that restaurant, or is the glove, or is it the employee from the restaurant, or both? So the glove that they found, one of the gloves that they found, it is from an employee from a restaurant, right? I mean, seriously, after all the bungles with this, I would not be surprised me one bit if money was paid, she was removed and healing. Meanwhile, they're letting everyone scramble for answers. I don't think Nancy was alive really when she was taken out.
All the restaurant workers, from the valet boy to the guy in charge or the woman in charge, all of the waiters, whoever was tending the bar, there the day of the Today Show shoot. This has been 2 days over the last 48 hours.
Hold on.
Let's figure out.
What did she say?
The
What did
waiters,
Nancy
whoever
say?
was tending the bar, woman in charge. All of the waiters, whoever was tending the bar, there the day of the Today Show shoot. This has been 2 days over the last 48 hours. Let's figure out why. What about
Okay.
Joe Scott?
In the economy of an investigation, Nancy, time is the coin of the realm. And so where you're going to spend that time is very important. And so obviously they've decided that there is data there to be gleaned at this restaurant where they could go in there and actually begin to kind of pry out any kind of information, something that maybe somebody saw, maybe something that they've seen from a videography standpoint. I don't know if they've, maybe gone back to NBC, collected this tape. Maybe there was somebody milling about, and they want to be as probative as they can in this environment.
I mean, I don't see. Hey, Debbie, good to see you. I don't see this random person back in October just, sitting at another table, or an employee, really, in my opinion, that's just like sitting there watching them in like a creepy manner. I just don't see it. But to me, what's interesting is Savannah is there, Annie is there, and of course, Nancy is there.
And as well as I do, in the restaurant world, workers come and go pretty quickly now, don't they? And I wonder if those same people are still going to be there from, say, for instance, when this videography was taken, that would be there today. So they're going to burrow down deep into this and expend a lot of time. Obviously, the FBI knows something about this. They think that there's something of value there, or they would not be wasting their time And this also goes to another point, Nancy. It appears as though they're kind of narrowing focus at this moment in time. They've narrowed their field, and this is going to be a big part of it, I think.
Brian Fitzgibbons is joining us, Director of Operations, USPA Nationwide Security. He leads a team of investigators around the world.
I just don't see
trying to find missing people, and interestingly,
we're going to
including
get more
extractions from Mexico.
Because we're going to talk about the sheriff in a second.
He is a former Marine. He is an Iraqi war vet. To refine our deliberations as to why they are re-interrogating the restaurant crew. What do they believe happened the day of that shoot? Think about it. Think about it. There is that Google search that we know of. We found on Google Trending where someone searched Savannah Guthrie's salary and the address of her mother, Nancy Guthrie. Now, can we overlay someone that...
All right. You know, okay. Let's think about this a second. I'm really trying to think. I'm trying to pick up what they're putting down here. All right. So let's say this. There is this employee that is there the day Savannah, Nancy, and Annie are there. And they think, didn't know Savannah was from this area, didn't know her mom lived down the street, or whatever. In my opinion, if that is the case, I think it would have to be done with another employee or someone that knows, or maybe like a family member or something like that. But I still don't understand, because money or you don't do this kind of crime, in my opinion, unless it is money or a grievance. It's obviously a grievance of some sort, right? I mean, who would just go in and slay an 84-year-old woman or abduct an 84-year-old woman and then wait 3 or 4 days to write a ransom letter? You get what I mean? Like, it's really hard for me to see this. I'm really trying. Oh, and earlier today, there was captured video in either today or yesterday of a specific vehicle going by on a route from Nancy's home. Yeah, we covered that. I think I know what you're talking about, DA. I think that's been out for like a week or so, hasn't it? Maybe you're talking about something else. Let me see.
Was seen someone that was at that restaurant with that Google search. See where I'm going with this? They're trying to ID someone that would have a motive to kidnap Nancy Guthrie. We're not looking for a burglar, a robber, a rapist. We're looking for a kidnapper with a motive. And the restaurant reinterrogation fits very well with the overlay of that Google Trend search. See where I'm going with this? That's who they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. And in this case, right, investigators are moving out to the periphery, working under the assumption that Nancy was targeted. Okay, so that's based on all the information we have. We have to draw the conclusion that she was targeted due to her connection to Savannah and Savannah's celebrity. This salary search, the restaurant, expands the periphery of folks that she was interacting with who would be interested in, hey, how much money did Savannah make?
Sassy.
She's now become a target.
Sassy, I just emailed you back, my dear. Oh, hey, Jen. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate you, my love. How you doing, Miss Jen? Appreciate you, babies. Good to see you. Thank you so much, babies. Finally found someone who makes me happy and treats me right. You did? You did? That's so sweet, Jen. You deserve happiness. Yes, this is. You make sure they treat you right. You tell them you treat our girl right. Yes, this is telling me that they are moving away from any family involvement. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I don't know why they would go there 4 or 5 times. I mean, unless they just absolutely bumbled the shit out of this case, which they seem like they did, in my opinion, which we're going to get to. Justin, you're looking very preppy. Well, thank you, Spunky. I guess that's a good thing. Is that a good thing? I don't know. We people thought Elizabeth Smart was not allowed, so you never know. That is true. That is true. But I will say, I don't. I mean, statistically, Elizabeth Smart was, it's just something that never really happens. So, plus Nancy Guthrie's 84 with the pacemaker, no medicine. But it can happen. It can happen. The car cameras should show. Stay on that side. Rachel.
And is someone at that restaurant focused on learning what the net worth of Savannah is and what the potential value of a ransom for Nancy would be?
No.
You know what? Joe Scott Morgan, or as he likes to be called, Joseph Scott Morgan. I know to some people it may sound far-fetched. It's not far-fetched. There are con artists and scammers just circling like vultures all the time.
Oh,
they see an elderly lady
absolutely.
like Miss
It's
Guthrie
the number one
and think,
elder abuse.
Why do I want to work at a restaurant for minimum wage and tips? Or why do I want...
Financial abuse is the number one abuse for elders, and it can happen. Now, one thing I can see, okay, I'm thinking about something now. One thing I can see is that potentially one of the employees getting close with Miss Guthrie and taking money, borrowing money, them taking advantage of Miss Guthrie and not paying her back or something. I can see that. That's something I could see. But again, I think the help factor is a question as well. It would have to be, in my opinion, someone that would be really close to, for instance, the restaurant worker. It would have to be like family, friends, gang, brothers or sisters or something like that. Definitely more than one person involved. A grievance makes more sense. I think the ransom was an opportunist other than the kidnappers. There may have been one ransom from the real kidnapper. Yeah, but even if it's a ransom from the kidnapper, why did they wait 3-4 days if their goal was money?
To fill in the blank, when I can come up with a scheme and get millions of dollars. That's the person we're looking for.
Yeah, this is for somebody like this. This is very low.
Well, and that's the thing. You remember the adult CPS, right? The adult CPS. Maybe someone knew about it, and called and said, "Listen, something's going on here. She's being taken advantage of by someone."
Low-hanging fruit, Nancy, when you think about it. And plus, if you walk into an environment like this and with this cause of celebrity, if you will, and you've got somebody that's very high profile and they do see an easy target. Nancy, you know what? When Mrs. Guthrie would have walked in there, just keep in mind, she would not have merely walked in there. They would have seen, she would have seen that they would have seen that she's the weakest among us, right? She's barely ambulatory. She has to have assistance when she walks. And so they could target her, just kind of profiling her on their own. And they see her adjacent to her daughter. You get this search coming up, and she can become, at that moment in time, kind of a high value target. And that's kind of the risk that you run when you're in the media like this. You really put a big target, not just on yourself, but also your peripheral family members as well.
And back to Brian Fitzgibbons joining us, USPA Nationwide Security. Brian, if you think scammers, con artists aren't all around you, just the other day, I called a friend on APD. I was so irritated because at the same parking lot, I saw a man and a woman, the same man and woman with their children, scamming for bus fare. And I'm an easy target. I see someone asking for money and I feel like it's my duty to give them whatever I have, right? So the first time they got me, I had a total of $3 crumpled up dollars. I gave it to them and drove off. They were going to catch the bus that evening. Well, 2 days later, there they were. And what made me so mad is they have a baby and another little child, maybe 3 years old, scamming with them. So my point is, scammers are everywhere. They will even use their children to scam you. And what may have started as something where nobody's supposed to get hurt, I'm just going to take Nancy Guthrie, I'm going to get my $1 million from Savannah, and then she's going to be fine. I'll return Mrs. Guthrie. But it didn't turn out the way they planned.
I don't agree. I got it, Sassy. Thank you. I don't agree. Okay. Let's think about this a minute. Let's go step by step. You just want money. Scammers, that's what they want, this big amount of money all in one lump sum. You give me the money, you get your mom back, right? Well, in theory, yes. But you also have to think about this. Why did they not contact Savannah, the one with the money? They contacted TMZ and local media. That's the first thing, generally, whenever someone writing a ransom letter says, you call the cops, they're dead. That's like the first thing, right? That's like the first thing on the note. Listen, if you call the cops, they're dead. You don't write a tabloid news station and 2 local news stations. So I don't know if I'm buying it. I'm feeling the ransom had nothing to do with what happened to Nancy. I think it was BS. I think maybe some of them could be could be 1 or 2 could be related, but I don't think it's not because they wanted money. It was to, in my opinion, either buy time or bullshit them. Sorry to be graphic, but if she passed in the house, wouldn't there be more biological evidence? The porch blood was aspirated, right? So she may have passed later. Tucson girl, good to see you. Thank you so much. Good question. We don't 100% know that that is aspiration. I believe it came from the nose area, my opinion. So there's that. Number one. Number two, let's think about someone bleeding, right? There had to be a containment of Nancy's blood, right? If she walked off that porch, if she walked off that porch or was taken off that porch, they had to contain her blood, meaning they had to put up a paper towel to her nose or her face or her arm, wherever she was bleeding, right? Or they had to make sure if they had her in something that it was no longer leaking as well. Or they had to turn around and take her back in the house, which she could have been bleeding in the house, or it could have been contained in the house as well. So we don't really know.
So con artists aren't necessarily good-hearted people that just need.
I think it was highly likely that she was something contained. They had something to contain her.
A helping hand, Brian, and they're more common than we realize.
Absolutely. And you have to understand, rolling into this restaurant in Tucson with a film crew and an entourage of people filming Savannah and Mrs. Guthrie certainly would draw a significant amount of attention, and that would be out of the ordinary. This isn't, parts of LA or Manhattan where this is happening on the regular. This would be certainly something out of the ordinary that would draw a tremendous amount
Absolutely. That's kind of, I think we're saying the same thing, Pratty. Pratty says, not if they wrapped her in the sheets, stealing everything. I remember a case, these guys wrapped this guy in a sheet and taped it, put him in a car, dropping him off in Oklahoma. Correct. However, she, meaning Nancy, was bleeding at this doorway, right? She was bleeding at this doorway, which means she, wherever she was bleeding from, was not contained. You get what I mean? It wasn't contained at that time, because if it was contained, there wouldn't be blood on the floor, right? So if she was being contained, it either leaked or let's say there was a napkin or tissue on her face, had to be pulled away or moved, or if there were sheets, bedding, whatever, it had to have been uncontained for a minute, right? We can't forget that this person had a GUN, right? This person had a GUN. In my opinion, if you go there with a GUN and things in your backpack, and if you take this big action, premeditating to do something like this days, weeks, months in advance, you would absolutely are capable of unaliving them. So, I think, in my opinion, just my opinion, I hope I'm wrong, but I think the things in the backpack was essentially a kill kit.
Eyeballs from the wrong people.
You know, another thing, Fitz, is I guarantee you they are asking even the nice lady that is the maitre d' or the hostess that takes you to your table. I guarantee you they're saying, hey, are you married? Who's your husband? Do you have a son? How old is your son? Do you have a son-in-law? Do you have a freaky cousin that's been in and out of the pen? They're asking all of these restaurant workers, I would assume, about their families, because when grandma hostess
Thank you,
goes home and
Mon.
goes, hey, guess what happened at work today? Savannah Guthrie was there with a film crew and la, 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 la. And then you got the black sheep son-in-law sitting at the kitchen table for a free meal going ding, ding, ding. It doesn't have to be one of them or one of the patrons. It could be someone connected to them. See where I'm going? I mean, the web, the tentacles of this are pretty substantial.
Spot on. And that's what we were saying weeks ago with relation to any workers that were in and out of Nancy's house on a regular basis. It may not necessarily be them, but somebody in their circle who's aware of Savannah's celebrity, her money,
Right.
and Mrs. Guthrie's location.
Straight out to special guest joining us, Christian Hammond, artificial intelligence expert, professor.
That is correct, Holly. Yes, absolutely. Didn't someone say that APS doesn't show up because of her going missing? Not normal, even in this case. Yes, and homicide was there from jump, and I'm going to show you some things someone sent me. There is some reporting that a struggle, which I have never heard before, a struggle and a broken lamp. Hold on. Does she have a lamp by her bed? I wonder. Let me look at this. We've got that photo. Yep, she does have a lamp by her bed, which a lot of people does. I mean, that's not like cray, and have a lamp by your bed or anything like that. But there is some reporting. Check this out. That a struggle and a broken lamp was discovered near the entryway, and blood evidence matching DNA was found in the hallway. Neighbors allegedly reported hearing a car door and an engine start around the same time. That is coming from Reuters. That's interesting. Serenity, hey baby, good to see you. Thank you so much for your support. Why has been different people there the last several days? Today it was an electrician vehicle, I believe. Do they know she's not coming back? So they are fixing things, installing things. Okay, Serenity, very good question. I've wondered about the electrician specifically. And the electrician really gets me because, yeah, she has an electrical permit, which I've shown you guys, right? And she did an electrical upgrade. This electrician was supposed to have been there allegedly on the I think the 8th or 10th of January. But did they not finish the electrical work? Is that why they're there? Are they there for some other reason? I don't know. But it's curious. It is curious. Lots of cars today cleaning crime scene too. Nanos, he's a oh my God. I can't even with that man. I really support law enforcement, guys, but oy. I saw a video that Tommaso and Evans may be involved, but I haven't heard anything else since I saw the video. Well, you know, just about everyone's been thrown under the bus. So, with this, now that they're at this restaurant again, to me, it's making me seem like do they know what the hell happened at all? Was something disconnected? I don't know. Nano said nothing was stolen, correct? But now, do we know she didn't have a large stash of cash? But how do we know she didn't have a large stash of cash missing? How would know unless they had seen it over? I mean, that is true, but I don't think Nancy had, just my opinion, a bunch of cash laying around. I just don't see. I mean, if she's refinancing her house 3-4 times, I'm not sure she's going to have a bunch of cash laying around.
Professor of Computer Science at Northwestern University, not shabby. Director of the Center for Advancing Safety of Machine Intelligence. You've seen Transformers, right?
Yes.
Okay. That said, Christian Hammond, let's.
What the fuck? Sorry, that's weird.
Transformers, right?
Yes.
Okay. That said, Christian Hammond,
okay.
Let's just go with me on this. Let's just pretend the kidnapper is, let's just say, not that smart. The ransom note is inconsistent with that because our friend Harvey Levin at TMZ said that at least one of the ransom notes, if they are connected, that's a big caveat, was very well written, almost eloquent. What do you think about the not so smart kidnapper using artificial intelligence to write that ransom note? How would that work?
Yes, he could have used one of dozens of systems to generate a note that had a certain sound to it. And in fact, that would be that would not be a stupid thing to do, because you could at one level you could generate something that could not be identified as you because it doesn't sound like you. On the other hand, it means that you've got to have usually a public system that you're typing such things into. So yes, it could have been generated by AI.
But how do you do it? I've never used AI in my life, ever. And my twins better not have used AI in their lives. They're in high school. So how difficult would it be, Christian Hammond?
You've interacted with AI probably 24 times today already. If you do anything online, you're interacting with an AI system. So you might not use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, but AI is in the background of almost everything we do digitally nowadays.
Wow. I could listen to you talk all day long because I'm actually learning something. Christian, how would the perp go about just mechanically? How would I go on my computer and go, hey, I want to write a ransom note. This is what I want to say. Write it for me. How do you do that?
If you go to ChatGPT on the web, you'll get a little box, and you can say, "I've
Sir,
you're
sir,
a kidnapper."
sir,
Yeah.
do not laugh at me. I saw the, I saw that.
No. This is
Okay, I can see.
this is not laughing at you.
I know it was an
is-
elementary question for you, Mr. Northwestern University, but come on, man, dummy down for me. How do you do it?
You just
Yeah,
you
busted.
literally just go to ChatGPT on the web, and you tell it.
You say, I want to write a ransom letter to a person named Nancy.
That you would like.
And we're not talking about Grace.
Like something
Not
like a
that
kidnap
Nancy.
note, and you give it the details, and it will generate it for you, or it will tell you that it can't generate it for you because it's illegal activity. It depends upon which model you're using. Some of them are guardrails that don't allow you to do things that are that untoward. Others don't. So you could easily generate a note that cannot be identified as you. And that's the important thing for anyone who's doing that. It just generates something that cannot be identified as you, because it's an odd thing. We all carry with us a set of signatures.
Yes.
There's our literal signature. There's our fingerprints, the structure of our face, the structure of our eyes, and the structure of the way we communicate. And
Speaking of the structure of the eyes, FBI, can we not find out whose eyes these are? Come on. Can we not find that out? They use ChatGPT to plan all out. Come on. Yes, why? Love your words, Luke. Appreciate you, lovies. Get some rest.
And the more you can disguise that, the easier it is to blend into the crowd.
Joseph Scott.
And so if everything you do is generic.
Watch this.
So I guarantee you, Joe Scott Morgan, it's never a good thing when the FBI shows back up at your place of business to re-interrogate you. I guarantee you they are 3 inches up every one of those employees' tailpipes to find out what they can remember and anyone they know that could end up being a person of interest. I mean, it spins out, Joe Scott, from the Google trend search we found to what Christian Hammond is describing, who would write the ransom note. Did they use artificial intelligence? There's a lot going on with these interviews. No wonder it's taken them 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this, like, Nancy behind the scenes, she's I mean, a lot of people, she's direct, like she's very direct, but like behind the scenes, she's always been like very kind to me. And she's, you know, she's direct. She's just like, let's get the show on the road. But she's always been very nice to me.
Yeah, and let me give you another bit of insight here. It probably will not be the same agent interviewing the same person. It'll be another agent interviewing someone else, and they will have planned this, and the questions might even be restructured.
I don't know if I'm buying it. I really don't know if I'm buying that. To be quite honest with you, with I mean, they are at, you know, the restaurant again. I get that, but oh, I did not see this. Ooh, this is interesting. Did y'all see this pajamas that was found? Now this is interesting to me. What appears to be women's pajamas found in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Give me a second here. Did y'all see this? I don't know why it keeps. Now that's interesting. It says it's a video, but I'm not sure if it really is. Now, I can see Nancy wearing something like that. I can see Nancy wearing something like that. Like pajamas or a gown or something like that. Could the black glove be related? Well, one of the gloves did come from a the restaurant worker. Seriously. I watched it live. Now look at the pants Nancy is wearing with Savannah on the Today Show. Which one, Suzanne? Which time Nancy's with Savannah? Jim found those today and had a label. They had a label from New York. When others found connection to really dark things and linked it to bands, DC that wasn't like. It doesn't say where they were found. Let me see where this person. Let's see here. One neighbor told me, I worry about Nancy alone in the house and no dog or alarm. I almost asked her last year, why not move into the guest house and have Annie live in the main house? But I didn't want to intrude. Let me see. We know that the dog one is not related. This guy looks visibly ill. Look at that was the dog. That was the dog thing. The FBI is now conducting a shoe casting test on potential footprints found in the Nancy Guthrie home. Haven't heard that. Okay, shoe size 12 women pants and a black jacket in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Yeah, that's from NYC. But that's, that's just a brand. There's a lot of NYC thingies as well. This one was just interesting to me. Because that to me looks old lady-ish. You know what I mean? Like that looks like a gown to me. The NYC size 12 behind Annie's house in the wash. Yes. Okay, Sassy, I got you. I don't know. Okay. When was this? Yeah, we know about the internet outage. Okay. I want to show you something about this car because this is just interesting to me. I'm going to go to Brian Inton. Some people, let me see what he says right here, and we'll go.
From what I can tell, they're still sealed, and even the lawyers representing those who were detained are also saying that they haven't been able to get their hands on.
Hold on.
Really be able to see what prosecutors, what investigators had to justify the searches, but so far, from what I can tell, they're still sealed, and even the lawyers representing those who were detained are also saying that they haven't been able to get their hands on them. But I was just downtown kind of looking into that. But I've got a lot to get to in this episode. First of all, just like this heartbreaking video of Nancy Guthrie that has now come out from more than 10 years ago. It's a Today Show segment. She actually taped it in her bedroom, which is just kind of creepy in a way that it's in her bedroom in light of everything that we know happened now. But also, it just shows what a wonderful woman she is. And I don't want to lose track of that. So I'm going to show you guys that and kind of talk a little bit about it in this episode. Also, a lot of questions about Annie Guthrie's car. Remember, it was taken by police for processing. It has still not been returned, and I've got the latest on that and why that may be, which I'm going to get into in this episode. And then, one thing that has troubled me with this case, and I think is one of the reasons that a lot of us feel so passionate about it, is just because a lot of us have either parents or grandparents that we worry about, that we take care of, that have caretakers, that we just get concerned about, people we don't trust going in and out of their homes. So I'm going to talk to Maureen O'Connell, our retired FBI agent, about that. Some of you guys were asking me, like, what are some tips? Like, what do we do to make sure that our parents stay safe, that our grandparents stay safe with all of these helpers around? And Maureen is literally the perfect person for that. So I'm going to
Yeah.
talk to her about that. And then also some new information. There's been this controversy with the sheriff here in Pima County about his resume. Kind of mentioned it the other day, but there were some errors in his resume that have now come out. A local newspaper did a big story on it. The sheriff is now reacting. So I'll get into all of it in this episode of Brian Ensign Investigates. All right, hey guys.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Think person at the door is wearing a gold pinky ring. I just saw it when you played the video. Find the person wearing a ring or used to wear it. Michelle, we know someone that wears a pinky ring. His mother's house was searched. But how do you know it's gold? That's a lot of people's like, this pinky ring. I don't know. Okay, let me show you.
It's the same bedroom that she was, likely
Hold on.
And it's just so weird because the clip is actually shot in her mom's bedroom. And
Let me find it here.
Lady up the street that my husband and I love and care for so much. She's been telling me she really wants soft serve. She doesn't know where to get it. Everyone's always trying to drag her to Pinkberry, but it's too bitter, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting her soft serve right now. I'm not going to let a minute go by without trying to do something nice, because she's the same age as Nancy. She's just as sweet as how everyone, describes her. And there was something else last week where I told my brother, babe, she's 84 years old. Just make it for her. And he did, and he ran it up to her. So I think everyone's going the extra mile for the older people in their communities, just out of love and respect for Nancy and what her family's going through.
yeah, and I just wanted to, because I know with your business now, and you advise people and you help people to be safer and stuff. Because so many people watching this, I think, are wondering, like, what can they do? What do you recommend in terms of cameras? Especially because, like, most people can't afford 1 million cameras in the best system.
She's got to be.
But for what most people could afford, what would you recommend?
Well, I have a camera specialist on my crew, and
A pinky ring and what are they called? The bite lights. That's what we need. Pinky ring and a bite. Oh, and the tattoo on the wrist. That's a big one. That's the big one, in my opinion.
so he
Which we're gonna go
usually
over
does
here in a
that. But
second.
I can tell you that you should have point, tilt, and zoom cameras, and you should be able to have complete coverage. What you really want is to be able to sit in your home and
Let me
use
show
your
you.
phone if you hear a noise. Like, don't open the door, don't go to the window. Have enough coverage with your cameras where you can just see what the threat is from the comfort of your own room. And make sure you lock all your doors and windows every night. Most people don't realize that a lot of offenders get in through the bathroom window. Most people, if you have a window in your bathroom, you always leave it unlocked. And they're just saying, everyone recommends, and the best practices are 100% don't leave any window unsecured or unlocked.
Ever.
Now, most people say no one can get through my bathroom window. That's what they all say. I mean,
Trust me,
people
they
can get
can.
through really small spaces. Just look at, any type of movie about prison escapes. They're getting through tiny little holes. It's insane.
If you can't do full coverage, though, because that could be a lot of cameras you'd have to buy to do full coverage.
Well, not with the PTZs, with the point, tilt, and zoom. They're like little domes, and they can look at, you can have one can do two sides of your house, and you can also point it, or you can pause it and zoom in, and still not lose the coverage of it looking down either side. Or, I guess you could just do your front door and your back door.
But I guess,
But
yeah, you're right. Those ones that zoom, you can cover a lot more area, even if it's just one camera.
And they're not that expensive anymore. And there's a lot of really good, inexpensive systems you can get. And you can, Costco, I think, has 2 sets, but online they've got a ton of these sets. And Nest and Zoom, or Nest and
We'll come back to this in a second. There's been a little bit of an update from Nanos he did with NBC today. Let me show you
disappearance. Do you think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely. We believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted. But
okay, that's interesting. But you can't hang on any word with Sheriff Doofy here. He says we believe we know why he did this, but we also believe that this was targeted. Okay. Then that means they have to know. If you know the why and you believe it's targeted, don't you know who that is? This is going to piss you off. I'm sure it is. Wake up. I'm sure it is. Oh my God. I'm probably going to be screaming in a minute. And tomorrow he'll say the opposite. Oh no. I know. I mean, shit, the night is young.
we can't, we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people,
never mind.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to.
Hold on, my camera froze. Look at me right there. I'm already cussing. 1 second, let me fix this damn thing. Sorry, I got pissed off and I hit my desk so hard already. And it's like it froze on me. So he's like, we think we know why he did this and it was targeted, but then he said, but we can't be for sure. Oh God.
The Guthrie family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about you.
We pressed Nanos about that potential motive. There is something that's come out in the investigation that gives you a sense of motive here and why this person did this?
I think it's come out from day one. I think from day one, we had some strong beliefs about what happened, and those beliefs haven't diminished.
You such an asshole, Doofy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Since day one, we've had. Who's this we, mother chicken? She just asked you what?
Day one. I think from day one, we had some strong beliefs about what happened, and those beliefs haven't diminished.
Do you believe it was a burglary gone wrong?
I'm not going to get into those theories. We have our beliefs. Everybody else has theirs.
Nano says he's intentionally withholding their theory and other details in the case, citing the integrity of the investigation. He confirmed investigators have been asking about potential internet issues the night of Nancy's abduction and said they're looking into the possibility a Wi-Fi jammer could have been used or if there was some other electrical disruption that night.
There was no Wi-Fi jammer. Is there a longer interview here? Is there a longer interview here? I agree, Ginger. He does. He does need to hush theories. So no burglary. Yeah. That's exactly right.
The sheriff also says he's still hopeful the DNA found in the home will lead to the suspect. Liz Kreutz, NBC News.
All right. Listen to what he says right here. Listen to what he says right here.
Giving an update on the search for Nancy Guthrie nearly 6 weeks since her disappearance. Do you think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely.
Okay. Do you think the suspect could attack again. Absolutely, he says. Absolutely. Right? Now listen.
We believe we know why he did this.
Okay. Okay. Again, if you know why, then that doesn't necessarily mean you got to know the who. Let's see what he says after this.
And we believe that it was targeted, but
okay. That's the point right there. We believe we know why he did this and that it was targeted. So do you know the who? Are you an owl, mother chicken? Do you know the who? Your local PD will often allow you to schedule a safety check for your home. That's a yes. Yes. Sometimes fire departments will do it as well. Very good point, Joe. And I recommend everyone checking that for their home, especially if they have elderly or they live alone. He initially said no threat to the community. Now it can happen again. Yeah. If it was targeted, but now the entire community is at risk. Thank you. Yes, Kay. Yes. Yes. It's targeted, but lock up everything, y'all. Lock it up. Hide everything. I can't with him.
we can't, we're not 100% sure of that.
We're not 100% sure of that. But he says, he's going to say in a second that we know we've thought the same thing from the beginning. Hide your grannies. Yes. He's exhausting. Hey, Sandwich. Good to see you, honey. He's exhausting. What? Yes. Okay. Did he do a full interview? I'm trying to find this. Let me see this. Sheriff Nanos interview. He did it with NBC, right? We believe we know why he did this. 1 second. Maybe. Check this out. Look at this. Oh, shit. Sorry. We believe we know why he did this. Pima County Sheriff believes Nancy Guthrie suspect could strike again. He could strike again, but it's targeted. Okay. Targeted, it's got to be for a reason.
Reward of up to $1 million through the details of the case that's gotten attention from around the country. In a video posted on social media,
we are offering. Law enforcement and intelligence analyst John Miller believes this video comes as substantive tips in the case are slowing down.
The family still believes, and investigators concur with this, that there's still someone out there, maybe more than one someone, who actually knows.
Meanwhile, new details have emerged about the masked person seen on doorbell camera footage. The suspect visited her doorstep on 2 different days, not just the morning she is believed to have been kidnapped, a source told CNN. The Pima County Sheriff's Department said in a statement Monday there is no date or time stamp associated with these images and suggesting
Is this an old video?
people during this case.
Phone calls have reports that I've personally
Whoever is in Tucson with what's next in the investigation.
Is this an old?
New information in this case is becoming more limited as investigators wait for DNA evidence to be analyzed. The sheriff has said that DNA
10/17.
could hold the answers to some of the questions we've been asking. This investigation into 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie's suspected
That's
kidnapping
brand
has
new.
moved people from across Arizona to join the search.
If there's 2 people, if there's 20 people, we're searching.
Community organized search parties spent Sunday morning pulling items from brush surrounding the
I found
Catalina
it.
foothills, hoping something they find will point to a suspect in her disappearance. But the Pima County Sheriff's Department tells private search parties, quote, best left to the professionals. There have been no signs of.
Okay, Sheriff Nano says, quote, we believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. End quote. Nano said in an interview, quote, so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about that. You're not the target. End quote. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about you. You've lost your wits. He's lost his damn wits, is what he has done. Well, he's getting a lot of criticism from that as well. There was an AOL article that was written today, and it said, Nancy Guthrie investigation is going to be written into the textbooks on what not to do. The investigation of Nancy Guthrie, sorry, I'm trying to read 2 things at once, guys, could go down in history for how it seemingly has been mishandled, according to a private investigator, Lisa Ribikoff Mooney, a polygraph expert and the owner of Interpoint Investigative Services, exclusively told Radar Online that police failed to properly secure the crime scene and stumbled yet again by holding too many unnecessary press conferences. What not to do. The investigation is going to be written in the textbooks for being used by many police academies on what not to do when it comes to investigative work. She said, first mistake was not securing the crime scene longer, too close the house off, and then open it and reclose it was a disaster. The amount of DNA and fibers that were brought into the home after securing it a second time was now contaminating the original crime scene. She continued, preservation of chain of custody is now disrupted. Defense attorneys could challenge evidence in court. Contamination of potential evidence left in the home could be a major problem if a suspect is eventually charged and the case goes to trial, as defense attorneys could challenge evidence handling. The solution would have been to lock down the house for longer and allow for forensic sweeps to take place before the home was ever reopened to the public. She also pointed out that it took a number of days for authorities to obtain and release the Nest camera footage that revealed the potential kidnapper. This should have been done right away due to the device settings and data now being overwritten, she claimed. On top of that, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos made frequent statements with only minor updates in the case. The sheriff was making way too many press conferences, released no information, and it appeared to he just wanted to keep his name out there for his own political gain. the private investigator theorized, these public statements are not only to scare the public, but to also alert suspects and influence anyone that may have information which could affect memory and accuracy. He's blundered the shit out of everything. They have so much traffic in they had so much traffic. Oh my God, so many. I mean, just look at the amount of just regular people that's, been there now with what's it called? Just like electricians and stuff like that. It's crazy. Okay, we're gonna go to Chris McDonough from the interview room. I want to ask you guys a question here.
So I don't see that, but I'm no expert in, and many people referred to it as a specific type of mask, and I can't recall what they said it was, but a lot of people said it not only in the chat, but I heard it on some other programs as well. And but I just don't see that, especially in that last photo, that it looks like he has something on that left eye. So I don't know. Anybody else see that? I don't see a mask.
I don't see a mask there. Really, would you put a mask on and then put a balaclava on over it?
Yeah, exactly.
And why don't you just blindfold yourself while you're at it?
I don't think it's a mask.
And I'll go back to this point.
What people are talking about is like, they're talking about like something like right here with his eye. A lot of people's like, it's like skin or, and some people's like, oh, it's a mask. I don't think it's a mask, in my opinion, at all, but something.
To Chris, if you can go back to that one that shows the neck and all.
But the thing is, like, I don't know if this is, part of like the night vision with the, like a little glitchy part or whatever. But to me, it looks like he's got a little bit of a double chin here.
To me, that looks really full. The area underneath the mask, around the neck and around the chin area, look really full to me. And of course, I could be wrong, but I don't know if it's a beard. I don't know if it's just the double chin that some people have. It's difficult. It's impossible to tell for sure, but it's really full. And that mask looks like it doesn't look real tight to me, but it looks like it's tight enough where it would form around a chin if it could. And looks like it's kind of very full to me, perhaps because of a beard.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know he's got some type of facial hair.
Not by the hair of his
his mustache, as we zoom in, and also he's got something here. Okay, and of course, that could be.
Thank you so much, Deb. Good to see you, love. Really do appreciate you. Let's see what it's details in the R letter, the ransom letter, that raises specific reference items on the property that were not publicly known, including a floodlight, an Apple Watch, and positioning of certain areas in the house. Your thoughts? So it is interesting. I do believe it's interesting. One thing I will say, and I mentioned it earlier. So this photo right here, this is from 2013. Right? This photo right here. Okay. Now, if there are other videos that Nancy has put out, for instance, or Savannah's the Today Show or anything like that, could they know where specific things are in the house? I don't know. I personally, in my opinion, I do feel like maybe one or two of the ransom letters may come from one of the suspects. I personally haven't ruled that out yet, but I don't think it was, in my opinion, for money. I think it was perhaps more for uh, trying to throw the investigators off, or potentially buying time, maybe being nervous as well. They didn't even take the doormat. Yeah, that as well. So that's kind of my opinion on it, Deb. Again, I think law enforcement the FBI is going to work really hard to look and make sure, like, is there any way that they could know where certain positions of things are in the house, right? Like, there's no publicly available information. But again, look at what Sheriff Doofy, as what I call him, Nanos, just said. We believe that we know that this is targeted, and did he say we believe we know why he did this, and that this is targeted? The why, right? Why? Well, that's really big because, again, an 84-year-old woman, there's not a lot of whys. You get what I mean? There's not a lot of whys someone would do it to an 84-year-old woman. Her victim risk continuum is extraordinarily small. He's like, well, we can't be sure. Can't be sure. But we've kind of thought this since day one. So it's kind of interesting. Exactly, Louis. So tell us why. Exactly. I mean, when it comes to an 84-year-old woman, what? Okay, let's think about this. Tell me, Chad, what could be your targets? What could be your targets? Well, you could say Savannah, but I don't think it's Savannah. I think it's got to be financial, or she knows information, or someone has a very deep-seated hate for whatever reason. Sammy, thank you so much for 14 months. To appease. I'm not writing off yet. Sorry, my palm is itching. Some bizarro stuff here. Were all her shoes accounted for? Good question. Good question. That's a very good question that I have not seen anybody ask. Were shoes missing? Right? I would think that they probably weren't, because she's, they said from her bed, but they were also there 40 some minutes. And you're not normally there 40 some minutes, right? With while you're committing a crime. So that's a really good question. Thank you so much, Sammy, for 14 months, girl. You're a rock star. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, love. And Mike, thank you so much, my friend, for your support. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Yeah. Thank you. Or she knew something. Yes. Yeah. It had to be. It had to be something like that. Justin, perhaps the kidnapper sent the ransom note, but after they were sent, she passed away. So kidnapper didn't follow through with it and stop contact. Anything is possible, Crazy Buck. But again, the thing that makes me not really believe that is, why do you wait? Why did they wait 3 or 4 days after she went missing for a ransom letter to pop up? Right? Who, when they're holding someone for ransom, who holds them 3, 4, 5 days before you get it out to the press that you have Miss Nancy Guthrie and you want Bitcoin, which can easily be tracked? Nobody. Nobody. Right? Well, it's we do have some of a timeline, and 43 minutes is the minimum. She could have been there, or they actually were there longer than 40 some minutes. They were actually there longer than 40 some minutes. That is like minimum. I don't think she's alive, MC, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. What was the gain? Yes. Who benefited? Who gained? Someone has to benefit, gain, or feel like an 84-year-old woman. Now think about this. Think about this. An 84-year-old woman who was being 84-year-old, you're probably going to meet Jesus soon anyways, right? So they would want to take her out earlier, right? Once you're 84 years old, your statistically of being around a year later is not very high. And you got to think about it like that as well. Like, who would want her out immediately? Who would want her out immediately? Right? Inflicting terror could be a motive. Yes, but that would go through that would be a hatred, a disdain as well. It wasn't debt because money wasn't exchanged. They didn't pay. Did her life insurance end at 85 years old? Many life insurance does. That is true. I can't say, and I'm not going to say, I don't know if hers did or not. But many term types of life insurance does stop at 85. That is true. Again, I don't know if she had life insurance. I don't know who the beneficiaries was. None of us do, right? But Janice makes a good point here as well. If someone is missing, right? If someone is missing, you don't get paid out either, right? You don't get money if someone is missing, right? They have to be declared deceased at a certain time and all that before you get the money. So now people can not think through all of that stuff, or they may not know that and still commit a crime. That is possible too. But to me, that is, you know what I mean? Is family really cleared? Or is that what authorities are just telling us to get the public off their backs? Well, Nanos, Don, I truly can't believe him. And I follow what the FBI says. And but I want to make it clear that nobody is calling the family suspects or persons of interest. I'm not. But Nano says they're clear, and then he says they're clear for at least right now. So again, I don't know why they would go back that many times, and I don't know why they would keep their car that long if they're just now getting it back. To me, it's a problem. I don't know. That's just me, though. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're awesome. And hit the like, please. Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate you. And thank you for being a member as well. Y'all, please hit that thumbs up button like Miss Marilyn just asked. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. And thank you, Marilyn. That still being impounded is huge to me. Well, to me, it's very huge as well, because again, you would want to expedite the family's property the quickest, right? Because they're going through the tough stuff. And we're at 6 weeks, and they may be getting the car back tomorrow, whenever other people that they've knocked down their doors, Dailies, Carlos, they got all their stuff back really quickly, right? And with Tommaso's house and Annie's house, again, they went there 4 or 5 times and did a lot of forensics, it seems, and also looked in the neighbors' yards and all that. And again, I just don't think that can be ignored. Didn't your friend Chris say it was in the repair shop? That is one of the reports that is out, that this car, this Honda, was at a repair shop. But to me, when they say, in my opinion, when they say repair shop, that means it's in a forensic lab being torn the hell apart. But that's just me.
Gone. It's probably gone by now. But this, to your point, let's pick this apart a little bit deeper here for a moment, from a psychological aspect as well as an investigative analysis aspect. In all candor, what the heck is he doing with these weeds? Why does he feel in his behavior that this is a critical element to this crime?
Well, he is either a bona fide doofus, or he wants us to believe he's a doofus. There's no other explanation.
Or
it makes no sense.
Or he's a doofus that wants you to believe he's a bona fide doofus. Right. Maybe he's both.
For a plan where you've equipped yourself, you've appeared in the middle of the night, you've got a walkie-talkie, you've got your backpack full of your abduction tools, and this is almost impresses me as like what we alluded to earlier about this almost theatric element, where I'm going to include this. You think that somewhere, someplace, a village is missing its idiot. And it's because it just doesn't make a lick of sense otherwise.
And he's right. He is right there. A village is missing their idiot right here. Because, like, he walks right up and he, with his can, then he turns around and he's looking on the porch, and then he goes there and, like, he's got a mask on. I've never seen, a freaking daisy cover a camera or whatever the hell plan it is. It doesn't seem very thought out, especially if he's been there already. Think about this, folks. Think about this, right? If he was there before, right? When he didn't have his backpack and his pew-pew, he already knows there's a camera there. Like, if I am, going over my bases, committing a crime like this, I've got my backpack full of everything I need and all that. One of the top things in a crime like this is avoiding detection. 101. Crime 101. Avoiding detection. Right? Cameras. Right? Signals. Data. I mean, it's beyond. I mean, to me, I think I'm like, this guy that we're seeing here, I don't feel like he's the brains of the operation. I don't feel like he's the main guy. He's just all we know. Like, is there another person or persons that is much more intelligent, and he's like, all right, you go up front. Okay. You're the guy that's going to go up front. I'll be back here doing the crime. You're going to go up front and make sure everything's clear. Like, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we've all had, in a case like this, we all have our moments where we've read too much crime fiction and we have a zany thought and we go, stop, that's stupid. It sounds like a dumb conspiracy idea. But it's funny, I had the thought come into my mind that if this was a staged crime scene, that maybe the plant was being used to sprinkle the blood, to give it that look of being sort of little flecks that are flying randomly, It's like these bizarre things come into your mind. But what I think it was that he just plucked some foliage and was trying to use it to block the camera or to test to see if it popped, if it came on because there's a little motion or something like that. But if you took the foliage thing off the table, I mean, you would still think that he was a dope. There are a lot of things about this that are dopey. And I have come to agree with people who've looked at this footage and think, he looks sort of intoxicated or high or something like that. Bob, you've been saying that since the
actually I got that Yeah, I got that from Maureen. I heard her say it. I don't know if it was on Megyn Kelly's show or what, but she was, the second she said that, and I looked at the video again, I thought that's exactly right. He looks like he's sedated.
Yeah. And too comfortable, way
Yes.
comfortable, almost as if like it doesn't even occur to you that you're standing outside a home where you're about to go in and do a horrible thing. I mean, when we look at that video footage, we have to understand, like, if this is the way that it's being presented, he is aware that he is carrying on his back materials that are going to be used to abduct and or kill an elderly woman whom you may know, right? And we don't know, or have some having studied for a little while at least. And the woman is in her bed, and there are houses that are sort of nearby, and it's the middle of the night. I mean, there's something that just doesn't add up about the behavior of the person. I mean, unless you're just a complete sociopath, it's hard to understand how there doesn't seem to be any anxiety. I would say it almost looks like nonchalance. Like what you're doing is completely, like as if killing or abducting a woman is as insignificant as plucking that plant.
And it is. It is. There's an old saying, Justin, you can't fix stupid. Yes, and that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And Dr. Gary is 100% right here. He doesn't go up in a fast way. You know what I mean? Like if this guy was going in there, like you're on a mission when you are committing a crime like this. Like you're on a mission. You're ready to get in there and take care of business and get the hell out. This guy's just kind of like, flopping his feet in front of the other. He's like, taking his time, looking around, getting a plant, and then putting it up. Like most people's like, bam, 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 knocking down the door, running to the bedroom, taking, if they're going to take someone, they're going to take them, and it's in and out. Not again, being there 43 plus minutes. He's used to doing crime simple. I don't know anybody that does it 40 minutes though. I really don't. Well, most crimes happen because when no one is home. Absolutely. They want to avoid. Yeah, they're not there. Nobody wants to be there. A criminal doesn't want to be there while someone is there unless they are there for you. That's it.
And there's something about that just gives you chills when you think about it. And so I don't know. I mean, do you guys pick that up too? The nonchalance.
Yeah. Yes.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So that part haunts me.
Why not cover his mustache though? Why not cover his mustache?
Well, it may have slipped. The other thing you notice he doesn't do, except at one point, he doesn't look.
You know something? I believe this suspect's father said that too. His mom. It must have slipped. Because you're dumb showing that mustache. He's really dumb showing that mustache as well. Because if I would have been this dude, you got the joke. You got the joke. It's a little inappropriate, but I don't care. I would have been wearing a very generic sunglasses, even over top that, or night vision goggles or something. I don't think it's a fake mustache. I really don't. I don't think it's a fake mustache at all. But some people do. Some people thought it was a female. I don't at all. Dude was either really stupid or really confident, or really confidently stupid. Which kind of
around to see if he's being observed. There's that one point where he's looking out toward the street.
Right.
He is, yeah, he looks completely calm with what he's doing.
And he walks up from the driveway side. He walks up from the driveway side. Now look at this picture a little bit closer. Now look at the left eye, the eye that's kind of little whiter there around the top side here.
Yes.
And it's almost like a circle in there. Are you guys picking up what appears?
It looks like something is there, definitely.
That's what the doc was talking about. I mean, and you can actually see it's rounded closer to his pupil as you on that side as you go towards his pupil. And it's it's almost like a radiologist looking at a photograph and saying, well, there's an anomaly here.
And I heard some people talking about
We're
his
going to talk about this
eyebrows,
tattoo
too,
in
and
a
I think it was
second. I'm
based
pulling it
off
up.
this photo. They were saying that that his eyebrows were really thin. Well, of course, we can only see a little bit of his eyebrow, and if that's all you can see, then yeah, it does look thin. But I don't think we're seeing the entire eyebrow. Now this guy may have really thin eyebrows, maybe manicures them, I don't know, but he could also have regular full eyebrows to me, because the mask is covering most of the eyebrows on both sides.
Well, and would you guys agree the only reason you're going to wear a mask to go into an 84-year-old woman's house is for obvious reasons, identity purposes? Okay.
Identity purposes as far as the camera is concerned, because I don't believe that ransom, that this was an abduction. I think we've all been in agreement that this person and others were there that night for the purpose of committing a murder.
Oh yeah, Ginger.
So I wouldn't see why he would be concerned once inside the residence whether his victim saw him or not.
Right. Good point. Well, and why spend 41 minutes in there?
Well, yeah, exactly.
What's his risk level?
Thank you.
I mean,
exactly, Chris.
You're lowering your risk level outside by trying to put plants over a camera. Right?
What is your risk level? Is his risk level, is this perpetrator, is his risk level more on the outside of the home or the inside of the home? I would think it would be more on the outside of the home, because there is a camera, there's people that could potentially see him, all of that. Once he got in there, it's not very hard to get the victim in the to make them surrender, right? It's not very hard to make an 84-year-old person surrender, and but when you got a GUN, and if they want her gone, he's got the GUN right there as well. So 41 minutes. If you didn't take anything, and they say that he didn't take nothing other than Nancy, then something either went wrong, she put up a fight, or the plan never goes as what you think it's going to go in your mind. There's always going to be something. So there had to be either, going through everything to make sure, or thinking that, like, all right, but it doesn't take a long time to rip a camera off or anything else like that. Was there a conversation, an argument, something? It's just a very long time to be at a home. They said the video footage didn't have a date or timestamp. It doesn't.
Somehow making forced entry into a house, which we still don't know how that happened. But this guy is going through all of these, activities, incident activities while it's going down. And he decides, well, you know what? I'm just going to spend 41 minutes in here as well. 41 minutes
Exactly.
is a long
Oh,
time.
huge amount of
I
time.
think that is going to turn out to be
Yes,
one of the most important pieces of information
it
in the whole
absolutely
story,
is. Yes.
because we don't understand the motive yet, but it has to have been integral to the
Well,
reason for doing this, that
well,
you would spend 40 minutes.
the sheriff said today, we believe, quote, we believe we know why he did this, end quote. We believe we know why he did this. And then he says, we believe this is targeted.
Minutes in that house. The reason
Listen
for
to that.
yet, but it has to have been integral to the reason for doing this, that you would spend 41 minutes in that house. And that has been, if there were one question that I could get answered,
Yes.
it's what the heck was going on in there for 41 minutes. For example, was
Same.
somebody saying to her, what is the password to your such and such, or we're going to
Yeah.
kill you? How do we get into your ATM? Are you going to sign this document and change this? Something like that. I could picture somebody trying to get her to do.
Now think of that. Listen, you wake her up out of her sleep or something. You're going to sign this. You're going to sign this right here. Could that have happened? Could that have happened? And you're going to date it for whatever day. Okay, did she have a safe? I don't know. I would think. But she had a bunch of jewelry. And I'm sure most people do have a safe at some point. Right? Well, it was at least 41 minutes, because we do have timestamps on the cameras and when it picked up detection, and when it was her heart monitor and all that. So it really was.
Do something for a little while. Or she's aware of something or has evidence of something, and they're saying, where is it? That kind of thing. And but because otherwise it's illogical. If you're just going in there to kill or abduct, you want out of there as quickly as possible. So there has to be something that is associated with that house or her that needed to be talked about privately. That's another reason why you would use another agent.
And again, I'm not blaming any person in particular, but I will bring up a question. And I want to make certain what Sheriff Nano says. He says the family is cleared, but I will say this. There was a dinner and games that evening. I've said this before. I want to know how often those dinners and games happened, but many times you invite someone over to have a conversation, or you invite them over and they don't know they're going to have a conversation, but you or your spouse or whoever is going to bring it up to them, right? And maybe part of that conversation didn't go great that evening. And then potentially hours later, this person, whoever came in the home and was spent 40 some minutes in the home, said, sign this or do this. You know what I mean? Potentially. Don't know. Or she made a surprise visit. I don't think Nancy made a surprise visit. But again, by taking the Uber, I think this was, I don't know. They were at their house many, many times. They were around Tommaso and Annie's neighborhood, in their backyards, outside of the yards there in the desert, looking around the stores. It's very interesting. And they are just now getting their car back.
To do it, because I mean,
Not blaming
she's
them.
going to know your voice.
I have no
You
idea.
do it yourself if she's encountered you before, kind of thing. What do you guys think about that? About my point that this 41 minutes is probably going to turn out to be the most important thing in the whole story. I mean, what the heck went on in there?
Yeah, it strikes at the heart of motive, and we can't even speculate on that because, to their credit, the Pima County Sheriffs and the FBI have kept the information regarding what the interior of the house is like. They've kept that secret, and so which is really a good job maintaining the case-specific information.
Yeah, question.
Yeah,
that's a solid piece. But everything, right? Again, we go back to the victimology and the victim risk continuum. Everything points to low risk, low risk, low risk for the victim, and then everything after that,
I'm going to show you
the
guys the
suspect
timeline.
does points to high risk, high risk, high risk.
Yes.
Which doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Nope.
I mean, everything. I mean, if he went there before to case the place, hypothetically, let's use that one photograph, right, with the dark behind it. They haven't told us the metadata. It could be the same night, but
Amy,
I don't know. I have a problem with how dark it is behind it.
I agree, Chris. I agree. Thank you so much, Amy. Appreciate you, my dear. 1 month. Much love to you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Miss Amy. Appreciate you, my dear. The crime scene could have been being staged in that 41 minutes. I don't think it was staged. I think they might have been clean up, but nobody spends that much time because you don't know what's going to happen. But you see, there's a couple things that we know that 9:48, Nancy's Tommaso drops off Nancy and the garage doors open. That is, we have a digital time when that opened, which means it had to been opened up with some sort of app or something, not with the keypad or with the clicker. 9:50, almost 10 o'clock, right? 3 hours, 47 minutes later, February 1st, 2026, 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. Okay, which means someone's at that house. Someone's at that house. Now, the next thing is 2:12 a.m. camera software detects a person. It detects a person. And then at 2:28 in the morning, the pacemaker app shows disconnect from the phone, right? So we got let's see here. 43 minutes. And that is minimum because the doorbell camera disconnects. If the doorbell camera disconnects at 1:47, that means they already had to have been there and been doing something. That's just when it disconnects. And at 2:28, the pacemaker app shows that it's disconnected. That doesn't mean they're still not there. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they're still not there. Someone has to be watching her that night to know she was home. You go in and she isn't home and you blew it. Bingo. You're exactly right, Randall. Someone has to be watching her that night to know she was home. You go in and she isn't home. You blew it. No second chances. They could have also thought she was still gone. Yes. I mean, I would say most 84-year-olds would be home at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? But what to me is the most interesting about that is out of all night, out of all nights, this happens out of, in 84 years, she is dropped off from her family members just a few hours before. Just a few hours before. She goes home and then she's gone. You had this dinner with your family and games and all of that. And you're driven home by your son-in-law. And it doesn't even look like he was allegedly even there that long. Doesn't look like he even really helped you much to get in the house. 84-year-old, not very mobile woman. I think that's a little weird. I think maybe it could have been a neighbor, someone that was watching her for a long time and decided to do something. I think it's very, very possible, Pam. I think that's very, very possible. Very much so. Very, very much so. Right. Yeah. Could have been waiting for her in the mother-in-law suit, came out, disconnected the cameras, went to the main house and got her. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. I'm almost at 3 hours. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I will, anything breaks, I'll be here. Prayers go to the synagogue and the school that happened today. Such a tragic thing. Also, please keep the E's in your prayer still. Middle E. He had a really good day today. I'm really glad of that. I talked to them earlier, and there was a news piece that was done on him. I'm going to share that out here in a little bit. So make sure you look at my post on YouTube as well. Love you guys. Really do appreciate you. Like I said, if anything breaks with this case, no matter what the time, text me, call me, and I'm probably already know it, but regardless, I'll be live. It was, Louise. It was. Some real hateful people in the world. Real hateful people. Just let people live. Don't worry about what. They're not hurting you. Let them live. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you. God bless each and every one of you. Justice for Nancy. Good night.